Hi, welcome to automation testing.in. In this video, we are going to discuss about running testng.xml file using command prompt. And the topics we are going to see is there are two ways to run the testng.xml file. One is using command prompt, another is using IDE, that is from the Eclipse where you write the code. And there are some prerequisites to do the same thing. The prerequisites are you should have testng.jar and jcommander.jar file should be downloaded and placed somewhere in your folder structure. And running the testng.xml file from command prompt also there are two ways. First we need to set the class path from the command prompt. For this we need to mention the bin folder path, means all compiled files which are resides in this. Means you have written some Java files, you have to compile that, then it will generate one class file. That class file will be stored in the bin folder. You have to get the path of that bin folder. And the jar files where we put somewhere in the folder structure, right, we need to get the path of that jar files folder also. In this, for example, we are placing in the libs folder. We are creating a folder called libs and we are placing those two jar files in the libs folder. And the command from the command prompt means the command is set class path equal and the project folder and bin and project folder then libs, means you have to give the bin folder path and libs folder path. I have a project called YouTube in my E drive, then you have bin folder and libs folder. And then once you set the class path, and the second thing is you have to execute the below command is java space r.testng and then testng.xml file. This way you can execute the testng.xml from the command prompt. And the second way is, in the previous one we have given two commands. Instead of that we can give only single command to execute the same thing, and that is java-cp and the same bin folder and libs folder path. That is, the dot means in the current, it indicates that we are in the current folder structure. And the same thing r.testng.testng and then testng.xml file. And the -cp is you are mentioning the class path. This is the only single command. You can execute the same thing this way also. And you have more than one testng files in your project, and you want to execute all these testng.xml files from the command prompt. You can do the same thing using command prompt. We have seen the same command, right, till here in the previous we have seen. You have to append the extra testng.xml file to this, means you have to, this is one more parameter. This way you can execute multiple testng.xml files also. Sometimes you have more than one test tags or tests in your testng.xml file. You want to execute only one test, then that is also possible from the command prompt. That is, you have to use one parameter called -test names, and you have to give the test name of the test. Then you can execute the only single test from your testng.xml file. This is simple overview of this, and we will see how we can do or achieve this from the Eclipse. I have a project folder called YouTube. In this I'll create a class. I'll say command prompt. And I'll finish this. Now you create a one test method @test public void run from command prompt. Okay. Now I'll say system.out.println. I'll simple running from the command prompt. I want to just print this one on the console. That is my test case. Now I have to import this test from the testng library. I'm importing this. Now it is ready to execute. Now I'll say like I have to create the testng.xml file for the same. Right click on your class file, testng, convert to testng, then finish. It will create one default testng.xml file, and you can run it from the here. I'll show you that run as testng suite. This is a normal way that you can say, like, you see, running from the command prompt. It is executed fine. Now I want to execute the same thing from the command prompt. What you need to do? Now I have to go to here, the project folder, YouTube. I have testng.xml file. You open the command prompt here. Now go to this section like we have seen, right? We have to set the class path. Now I'll copy paste it from here. Set the class path, right click, paste. Means set class path equal, you have to bin folder path and libs folder path, and the arrangement of your command will be like this: bin first and libs later. You just hit enter. It set the class path, that it's telling that the command prompt that where the compiled files and where the jar files are residing. Then the second command means java dot just change it dot, I'll just paste it, then click enter. You'll get the same output, see, running from the command prompt. The same output which we have seen in the Eclipse, we got the same. Now this is one way, and we have seen the second way, right? Instead of giving the two different commands, you can give the single command. You copy it from here, you go here, give the command, see, java-cp /bin/libs, and the same command org.testng.xml and then testng.xml. If I click enter, you see the same output. Instead of giving these two commands, you can give only this command. I can get the same output. This is the way to run the testng.xml file from the command prompt. And we discussed some more, like I want more than one testng.xml file. I want to execute all these testng.xml files from the command prompt. How you achieve this? For that, I'll go here. Simply I copy and I paste the same thing once again. Now it is giving us testng2.xml. So if I want to execute this both, okay, and the same script, but I want to, otherwise you can say like in this, also I want to execute the same thing, but it will execute 2 times. Now we'll see in the command prompt. I'll say like, you have to mention one more testng.xml file as extra parameter, testng2.xml. That's it. Then click enter. You see, run from the command prompt, means it executed 2 testng.xml files at a time. Now I want to execute only particular test, means I have this one. I can copy this one. You see, copy and paste it here, and this is command prompt 2. And this testng2.xml file, I have one single test, right? I'll take this single test and I copy one more time. I'll say this is test2, and this test2 referring command prompt 2. Okay, like what I'm doing is I am copying this one and pasting here, means I am giving one more class file I'm creating, and I'm mentioning the same as separate test. I have test and test2. Test1 will execute this file, test2 will execute this file. Now I want to execute only this test2 from the command prompt. How you achieve this one? And you say like go here, and we have this command, this one, take this, go here, paste. Now I want to say I want to execute only test1. In the testng.xml file, I have 2 test files. One is test1, one is test2. From the testing, I want to execute only test2. The test2 will execute what? Command prompt 2, means it will execute this one. I'll say command prompt from second test, just for to see the differentiation. Now I'll execute the same thing here like this. Now you will see running from the command from second test. Now it executed only particular test. You can achieve this one also from the command prompt. This way you can execute the testng.xml file from the command prompt. Okay, we have seen all these things which we discussed in the PPT. Thank you. That's all in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my automation testing channel, and please like us at our